I'm Delia. I am the founder of Subvert. I started this company because I believe that all people should own an art collection, and I am totally astonished by how few people actually get the opportunity to do that. I think that our reasons for not having an art collection end up being a lot of misconceptions and misguided beliefs that I'm here to shift. So I created this YouTube channel so that you can experience the profound benefits of living with art, especially when that art is meaningful and beautiful and from a living artist. Today, I want to talk to you about creating a strategic approach to art collecting. This is the very first thing that I guide members through. I think it is really useful, and I want to share a little bit about why. But before I do that, I'm going to give you just a few examples so you kind of are on the same page with me, know what I'm talking about. I have actually talked a lot about strategies on this channel already. For example, buying art in order to set a vibe, or buying art to tell your personal narrative, or buying art as a therapeutic tool in order to create balance in your life. I will make recommendations and guide clients to help them really develop what their strategic approach should be based on what I know about them. And that can become really personalized. But the truth is, your strategy can be literally anything. So, your strategy can be as simple as honoring and honing your intuitive reactions to a piece of art. It can be buying art exclusively from Black women artists. It can be buying art every place you visit. It doesn't matter. I mean, make it true to you, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to be super well thought out. It just needs to resonate with you in some way. The reason that I recommend a strategy be in place all of the time is that there is an unbelievable amount of art in the world, and you absolutely need to apply some serious filters in order to narrow that down. When I'm working with collectors, these filters include things like size, medium, style, emotional tone, subject matter. But even with those filters in place, we are still looking at an absolutely enormous amount of art, a huge selection. And I think that having a strategic approach that we can kind of layer on top of that is going to really help ensure that your choices are in alignment with who you really are and what you are trying to create in your home. Obviously, these rules are bendable. Do whatever you want. But I find that a lot of what seems, I'll say, ineffective about home decor and art is that it lacks intention and the purpose is not clear. I talk a lot about efficacy and the effectiveness of art, and I don't do that in order to instrumentalize art, but I do think that art can serve a purpose, that it can be as a resource in our life or a tool in our life, and I think it's important to really clarify why we own it and why it's there. So that can be for soft and sentimental reasons. This doesn't have to be rigid, but the reasoning has to exist regardless. I really encourage you to come up with a strategy. So when you go about building an art collection, I think it is really important, and just make it true to you. Really, whatever makes sense to you. So whatever you want your impact to be, and that can be personally, for your family, for your community, collectively, whatever it is, think about the intention and the impact that you want your art collection to have, and really clarify and ground in that as you start building out your strategy. You're going to use this strategy, you're going to employ it when you're making buying decisions, so that when you walk into a gallery, or you start shopping online, or you get a curation from an art consultant, you're able to kind of tamp down that immediate overwhelm that happens, and not get so caught up in the concern about whether you are making the right decision, have that decision paralysis or fear take over. You can really just refer to your own strategy and make your decisions and your acquisitions based off of that. Your strategy can and most likely will change. Most collectors tend to collect for a lifetime, and we certainly know as adults that our, whatever we thought our permanent style was, or our life philosophy, it shifts. So consider that your strategy will evolve over time. And even if you want to, that can be a component of the story that your art collection is telling, in line with that personal narrative idea, telling the story of how you have grown and transformed as an art collector, what the evolution has been. That can be a really cool approach. It doesn't need to be precious. It doesn't need to be rigid. But one thing you can do is, when you sit down every year to set an art budget, which I really think everyone should do, even if it's $20, you can also sit down and take a look at your strategic approach, tweak it where you need to, but be sure to have it handy or top of mind when you are making buying decisions, and deciding which pieces to acquire, because they will help create cohesion in your art collection and ensure that you are really getting the intended impact out of your collection. Let me know what questions you have about this in the comments below. I am more than happy to answer them and have a discussion with you. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I put out a ton of educational videos and resources, as well as really inspiring and fun home tours of people's art collections. Say hi, and thanks for watching.